Greetings everyone, GalacticStorm here, and I say this. Welcome to the show. And today, well, I'm just going to be showing you what I've been doing at the West Coast. About 2 to 3 weeks ago, I went to California to play some E3. And to be honest with you, this is the first time I've ever went farther up to the West Coast. And this is my first time actually being on an airplane, so pretty much I was scared shitless because I was always watching like around Final Destination, what happened, or a 9/11 scenario. That's what I was mostly afraid of. But then again, it hasn't happened in a while, but all those accidents have been going on within airplanes. That's what made me really scared. But anywho, I'm going to be showing you what I've been doing, and I'm going to show you some gameplay if I can. Or actually, I am going to show you some gameplay. So, let's get started, shall we? So before E3, we decided to go to, along with my brother and fiance, his fiance, not mine, we went to other iconic locations before we went to the convention for E3. We got our tickets in that right before it started. So we went to the Warner Brothers studio for a nice little tour for like a couple of hours. I definitely recommend it just because they give you a huge tour around the not the hotel, but for the studio area. It's pretty massive. Saw the Big Bang Theory stage set. I saw a whole bunch of props, especially coming from the Matrix, vehicles from Batman and such. We also went and did like the Universal Studio theme park. Definitely small, but it is pretty nice. I would recommend that as well. Went to the Los Angeles Zoo, we went to the Santa Monica Pier, we also saw the Walk Hall of Fame, which I definitely recommend doing. It's a lot of walking if you don't mind that. But the biggest reason we were there was because of E3. And yes, E3 was pretty huge. There was literally tens of thousands of people within the first day. Not so much when it comes to the second and third day, but it was still pretty large. But on the first day, we were able to see a whole bunch of stars, for me at least, and even so with my brother and his fiance. For the first day, we were seeing Danny Trejo from Machete. I think I pronounced his name right. And when I was waiting for the multiplayer when it came to World War II, I saw Emir Atari and actually got a selfie with him. Now, anyone who doesn't know who Amir Atari is, he's basically one of the cooks from Epic Mealtime. Link in the description below. And me and my brother were able to get a screenshot and selfies with the Big Show. You know, that Big Show from WWE. Now what we did was we basically did look around, we went to the West Wing, we went to the First Wing as well, and it was huge. We had a whole bunch of games that we could choose from to play with, and even we were able to try to at least try the World War II multiplayer, but I wasn't able to get a game, or at least recording with the first one. But it was, the trip was pretty large when you're heading to the multiplayer. You had to wait at least like 4 to 5 fucking hours just to get it. But then again, thousands of people were looking at it as well. I'm just going to be doing a couple screenshots every now and then just because of how long these videos are going to be. Or at least my screening at least. But I'll be showing you some gameplay within World War II. But I also tried like some other games, including that of the new Dragon Ball game, which was much of a button masher for me, to be honest. But I also tried Sonic Mania, and I'm a huge fan of the old school Sonic games, and I'm pretty happy that Sega returned to its roots. Alright, let's go see what that World War II gameplay is like. So before we start the video, yes, that is me on the right hand side. Yeah, I'm a little chubby, sue me. But anywho, what we did was we were going to go to this PlayStation conference. They do like hold meetings or held multiplayer games within like selected spots and such. So me, my brother tried to do that, and unfortunately I couldn't get into it, but my brother didn't want to play World War II as much, so he just gave the I would say the privilege to me, and I kept on saying if he was sure about that. just to make sure. And he said pretty much, yeah, no problem. And also, I'll also record you just to see what you do in that. And I was not to disappoint. And basically, I had a crowd, from what he told me. He had a crowd for me. I had like maybe like a dozen, maybe like half a dozen people cheer me on and that. And yes, I wrecked the enemy team. So without further ado, let's show you the gameplay, shall we? So before we start the video, yes, that is me on the right hand side. Yeah, I'm a little chubby, sue me. But anywho, uh, what we did was we were going to go to this PlayStation conference. They do like hold meetings or held multiplayer games within like selected spots and such. So me, my brother tried to do that, and unfortunately I couldn't get into it. But my brother didn't want to play World War II as much, so he just gave the I would say the privilege to me, and I kept on saying if he was sure about that, just to make sure. And he said pretty much, yeah, no problem. And also, I'll also record you just to see what you do in that. And I was not to disappoint. And basically, I had a crowd, from what he told me. He had a crowd for me. I had like maybe like a dozen, maybe like half a dozen people cheer me on and that. And yes, I wrecked the enemy team. So without further ado, let's show you the gameplay, shall we?
Yes! Nice. Nice. got the kill cam. Yes. That's sick. You're fine if you stand right here. Thank you. Claude, you're killing it. Which one are you talking about?
And I hope everyone was entertained from that. My only complaint, the LMGs need a little bit of a nerf. I would say they have a less recoil, so they do need a nerf when it comes to that. Damage-wise, they're pretty good, especially when it comes to the range. And the bazookas no doubt need a nerf, especially if they're not being blown up within like a feet away from the explosive radius. But the trip was pretty good. I got to see a lot of the games that were coming out. I especially had fun. So I'm definitely going to try it, but maybe not next year, but maybe like a year next or following year. So it's going to be worth something, but it is pretty pricey. But anywho, I just wanted to show you all that, and I hope you guys enjoyed what you've gotten. Vote, rate, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And be sure to look at me next week. Well, I'm going to be doing, finally, a review on Overwatch, one of the heroes. Who is it going to be? I have no idea. Until then, GalacticStorm saying, keep charging, bitches.